Hello and welcome to the Walk in the Podcast. I'm TJ.
And I'm Brooke.
And today we're going to talk about the language we find helpful heading into the new year. We don't have much time today, so we're talking really fast. That's going to be the thing. Thank you. There we go. We took so long to get ready and set up that now we're out of time.
Yeah.
Basically. But we're going to make it work.
Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks for tuning in.
See you next
See you
week.
next year. So
Happy
this
New
is
Year.
a fake New Year episode because it's not the New Year for us. Although when it releases, it will be the New Year. So this is a time traveling episode from 2020. Greetings. Hope 2021 is starting better. Yeah, so like it's interesting. Every time around this year, our rhythms change. Everybody has things going on. And so our podcast views always take a dip.
Yeah.
Listens and views. And there's always part of me that thinks, this is it. This is the end. People don't like us. People don't care.
Yeah.
And then I've talked myself out of it. So I'm going to leave that in 2020 where it belongs because it's not true. You guys are all just busy. I hope, right? No. Yeah, it's fine. Everything's fine. I'm fine.
Right?
And because we have limited time today, I don't think we'll do the reviews. I think we'll just skip that part.
Okay.
Save some reviews for next week and comments. Although I will say that Matthew Doss commented on the Mount Rushmore with his favorite albums and with his favorite songs, like I asked, which was amazing. I listened to him, and it was like if hipsters got into jazz. That's how I would describe his music. So
all right.
if I'm spot on, Matthew, let me know in the comments. If you haven't let us know what your favorite albums or songs are from 2020, please do on the Mount Rushmore episode because I love finding new music.
Yeah, you do.
And sometimes because of algorithms and stuff, the new music that you're recommended almost always is sort of similar. And so like sometimes I like,
literally new, like
literally new. Yeah. So he had some interest. It was like definitely smooth, but like kind of hipster. Smooth jazz, hipsters that like smooth jazz.
And Jesus or no?
So he did have a few worship, but like his
not the same.
Yeah, not the yeah. Like here are the names: Sleepy Fish,
What?
Go Penguin,
Oh my word!
San Holo, like Han Solo but backwards,
San Holo.
and Oly, Ollie. Anyways,
Ollie.
it was like these guys grew up listening to like alternative and emo music, and then got into jazz, and then started making their own music. So it's like interesting vibes. I liked it though. I was listening to it all morning while I was getting ready. The other thing is we forgot TV shows for the Mount Rushmore of 2020, which we kind of watched the same thing. So mine were Ted Lasso, best show of 2020. If you haven't watched Ted Lasso yet, it's amazing.
Really good.
It's so good. Mythic Quest, which is another Apple TV Plus, got 2 of the 4. And then the other 2 are from Amazon. The Expanse, which a new season just came out. I haven't really dug into that one, but I rewatched all the series.
But why did you find that in the first place?
Because I read the book.
Right.
Nice.
Plug for reading.
Yeah, reading is fun.
Way to go, babe.
And then Counterpart, another Amazon show that got canceled, but it was so good. There were parts of it that weren't so good, but there's one character in particular that like didn't have a purpose in the whole thing.
Right.
But other than that, J.K. Simmons was excellent in it. Because he plays 2 characters that are different. They have different personas, but they're still both him, and he embodies them both so perfectly.
It's like he's acting like 2 different people.
Yeah, that's kind of like it is. But they're the same person. So there's different.
They're not.
But they are.
But they're not.
Are we pointing at each other?
Yeah, but we're in split screen, so we're losing our fingers.
Your favorite shows, babe?
My favorite shows were the same as yours, except I didn't really watch The Expanse. I saw a couple episodes, but so I'm gonna sub out for Bluey.
Okay.
The kids.
You do have 2 different ones.
Do I?
Yeah. And you don't have Mythic Quest. Although you did enjoy Mythic Quest.
Oh, I almost wrote that because I did really enjoy it, but you already said it. So, Bluey, and then we just started watching Bosch,
which is good
so
far.
Only through 1 season, so that might not hold true 6 seasons in, or it might. Might hold more true.
More true than not. Okay, so we don't watch as much TV as we used to.
No.
So that's kind of why that category got skipped. But Ted Lasso, definitely worth the watch.
Yeah.
It is an adult show, though. They say the F word a lot.
Yes.
Just quick tip.
In an accent, though. So you're like...
it doesn't count. Not really. So, Brooke, how was your week?
My week was good.
I feel off not doing reviews.
I feel my words brain.
We've got 30 minutes.
Okay, cool. How was my week? I remember nothing.
Welcome to 2020.
But I'm sure it was great. You mean 2021?
2021.
We're in 2021 right now, babe.
21. Your week was great, babe.
Was it?
We celebrated probably one of the biggest holidays of the year. Christmas.
Christmas happened. It is hard to think back, but then also imagine I'm on Monday right now. Like,
Just be in this moment.
Right. I'm in the moment. This just gave me a 5% battery warning.
Okay.
So that's exciting.
We might not make it through the episode.
You might have to watch half and then listen to the rest. 2021, starting off strong.
It'll be fine.
It will be fine. Yeah, Christmas was fun. It was a lot of fun. I was really looking forward to it. Not that I haven't ever looked forward to Christmas, but there's been years where I've looked forward to it more than others. And this was one of them.
This was one of them.
It just felt exciting to feel like, okay, Christmas is coming. I know what that looks like.
Yep.
The girls were pumped up. I felt
Very
good about the
pumped up.
things we got them. Just all good things.
Yeah, so we spend Christmas Eve with my family, which is very large. My sister has 6 kids. My brother has 3.
Yep.
My other brother has 2.
Yep.
We have 2.
Yep. And we were missing a
when
family.
we were missing a family,
with 4 kids.
even and all that. So big family. So the issue though is because all the kids are under 12 or 13. 12 or 13. That's the oldest.
Kyla will be 13 in January.
Under 12, it's loud. And there were 4 kids born the same year as June. So 4 5-year-olds. And then there were 3 kids born the same year as Sunny. So 3 2-year-olds or 3-year-olds. So it's just loud. It's rambunctious, as you can imagine. So this year I was like, I'm going to try to eliminate some of the noise. So I had this idea, ran it by Brooke, then ran it by both my parents to make sure it was okay to do at their house. So what I did for each grandchild over the age of 5 and over was the cutoff. I put 10 $1 bills in an envelope with their name on it. And I told them, I gave them a little speech. I said, anybody can take away $1 from you for either being too loud or disrespectful or, just being obnoxious.
Yeah.
And you can lose $1. So if you're well behaved, you can leave with 10 fresh $1 bills. And they were super fresh because the bank uses new money, I guess, at Christmas. I don't know. They were really
the dollar
crisp.
bills were brand new.
Yeah.
It was kind of cool.
And then I also gave my mom 30 individual $1 bills, and it was called Yaya's Bank of Good Fortune and Blessings. And so she could reward kids with $1 bills. So while I felt like most kids left with 10, a few kids left with a little bit extra. I think only one kid left with maybe 6 or 7.
I don't know if there's that many, but I don't remember.
But it did work. It did work, and it did help because they'd be like, I'll take away $1. Like when things started getting too loud and rowdy, and I told him, I was like, you can still have fun. You can still, exclaim in excitement. But if someone's having a conversation, don't run in and be like, blah, blah, I need you. Blah, blah. But I think it worked, and I think we'll probably continue to do it. I do feel like, though, if we do it next year, people will be a little bit harsher.
Braver?
Yeah.
Or more
quicker to take $1 because there were a lot of warnings giving.
Right.
But I think
versus just straight up the $1's taken away.
It's gone. But it was super fun. So if you have trouble with big, loud kids and family, maybe that'll work.
It could. If they're motivated by cash.
Yeah, which...
Right. Because we wanted to do it for the littler kids.
But we
were just like, they have no concept of what they could even do with that or why they want to keep it. So we didn't.
June left with more than $10, so no big deal.
Yeah.
Sunny probably would have left with 0.
Oh, yeah. She walked into my parents on, I guess, Monday when we dropped him off for childcare. And she gets to the door. She's like, so June opens the backsliding door, goes in. Sunny's on the precipice of walking in, turns around to look at me and is like, no pushing, no yelling.
Yeah.
And walks through. She did it again.
Yeah.
And I was just like, that's not even what I told her in the car. Our
right.
conversation was something else.
But she's getting better.
But she gets in, shoves June out of the way, and screams about how excited she is to be there. And I had to chuckle because I was like, so close.
We'll work on definitions of words.
Close.
We know what the words are.
Right.
We just don't know what they mean.
Right.
Which is fine. That's how a lot of adults are.
Yeah. What does it look like? Well, not that.
And then Christmas morning was at our house. The girls loved all their gifts, which was super fun. Every time you ask June what her favorite gift is, it's basically whichever one is closer.
Yeah.
Or the one she most recently played with.
Yeah.
But super fun. Sunny unwrapped some mermaids for the bathtub, and that's all she could think about. She didn't even finish unwrapping all of her gifts.
No.
She was like, I want to take a tubby. Can I take a tubby?
Yeah.
Should I take a tubby?
She needed to put them in the water.
So, and then we got him the toy car, which was under a blanket. June walks down and goes, that looks like a toy car. I'm like, We shouldn't have. We should have just put it down there with a bow on it.
Right.
So
I almost got a bow that big at the dollar store.
Yeah.
And then.
But we took that out on Christmas morning, which was so cold. It was like 14 degrees. And we were, riding around in that. And we've been playing with that a little bit. Christmas Day evening is at Brooke's parents' house, which is definitely a calmer affair. There's only two families. Still a lot of kids, but.
Yeah. I also feel like the wood stove.
Yeah,
just melts people
into
like
their seats.
Mellows. If you're back in the room with the wood stove, like no one's moving, you just get lower and lower and lower on your chair.
But it was good. Christmas was great. And now we're in that weird, I don't know what to do with my hands mode of Christmas and New Year's. But what did help was releasing these items, which now are not available. So if you're seeing this, you missed it.
'Twas fun.
We also have a live stream. You missed that too. So hope you didn't, but you probably did. Ouch. But yeah, so that's giving me something to do. But yeah, this week in between is always like, what do we do?
I know, like June's off school, which is great. She loves it. But yet, even this morning, she was like, do I have school today? I was like, no. She's like, oh. Yeah. Sort of like, I don't know what to expect now.
But we got to take down Christmas decorations. We'll do the normal stuff. But yeah, it is kind of an odd week just in life. We did on Monday, because Brooke's parents watch Sunny when June's in school. They've been watching both of them.
Yeah.
So on Monday we go to Chipotle. This is just a funny story that we're going to share. We're sitting in the Chipotle, because you can't eat anywhere. So we get our takeout.
We're eating it in the car.
Super romantic. And then this car pulls by. Mm-hmm. Howler. It's like a company. I think it's called Howler.
Sure. That's not the point, but yes.
So it's got their logo. And what does it say?
It said, I'm trying to remember exactly, but it was like heating, plumbing, air conditioning, electric, maybe one other thing that totally makes sense, and audio and video.
And so Brooke
I got the giggles.
It hit her in the giggle box. And she's just
I know what they mean. I believe they mean like audio video installation of maybe security or
surround
like
sound, or
I'm like, I get it.
Maybe an intercom system.
but it felt so tacked on. So then we got the giggles.
I was like, Brooke, when I look for a plumber, I want to make sure that they know how to edit the video that they're making about their plumbing job.
Plumbing, heating, electric, babysitting. Like, let's just start throwing things in at the end.
And the Chipotle parking lot is a sports club. It was like sushi and haircuts. It's like, oh gosh.
Yeah, I know. So great. Just thinking about like, what else do I know how to do?
I mean, Brooke and TJ, t-shirts, beauty counter, baton twirling.
I can do that. So take it back.
But yeah, the sushi and haircuts one was like, oh.
Yeah, that was too
It's
far.
like too real, too much.
Yeah.
Although if you know a great place that does sushi and haircuts, please let us know, because that would be amazing and terrifying.
Yeah.
It's like those restaurants you go to that like literally sell everything, and you're like,
they serve everything. I'm like, you can't be amazing
are not
at making
good
all of
at
this.
any of this. You just have a big freezer and a lot of frozen food.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah.
So last week was good. We're in this mode, but we are also excited for the new year. I feel like the new year, there's 4 categories. I'm going to be very general. There are 4 categories that people fall into in the new year.
Okay.
Heading into the new year. New Year's resolutions, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
Number 1, this one's in all caps, obviously.
Okay.
I'm going to change everything bad about me and make this year good. This year is the best year. I'm going to drop kick it in its face. Fire emoji, flex emoji. There's those people.
Okay.
These are these people. Number 2, resolutions are stupid. People don't finish them.
Definitely say like that.
They do say like that for sure.
Totally.
Resolutions are stupid. 3, I'm constantly changing. I'm always trying to be better. And those people say it like that.
Yeah, I get it.
And number 4, I'm going to try to do some things. We'll see what happens. I feel like most people are hoping for the best. Right. I feel like a lot of people fall into that category.
Maybe as we all grow up a little.
I am definitely in category 1.
Yes.
All caps. I'm going to do this. This year is going to be the best year ever. Drop kick. Fire emoji, flex emoji, celebration emoji. That's how I am. Brooke, and I'm in no other category.
Oh, man.
What category do you think you're in?
I probably am a combination of the first category, but I'm not going to tell anybody that.
Yeah, don't ever tell anybody you're excited about something.
Never.
Yeah, why would you?
Coupled with the 4th one. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'll see what I can do. I don't think they're stupid, and I don't I'm also not too good for them. I'm also not like,
Okay. You're not cool.
No one needs to
Yeah.
change. Like too cool for
Yeah,
school.
okay.
I don't land there either. So I'm a combination of first and last.
And obviously these groups are generalized.
Oh,
But
super.
and you can be in
You could be all four.
You could be all
based on
four to
different
vary in a degree.
areas of life.
But I thought for the conversation it'd be nice to just like get that out there. We know that all these personalities exist. You might be one of them. And you might feel challenged by the conversation that we have to maybe I shouldn't think that goals are stupid or rhythms are stupid, or maybe I'm not too good to learn new things.
Right.
I don't know. Just an idea. But
the plumbing guys learned how to do audio. And
they learned how to edit those videos.
So I think there's hope for us all.
And audio, who knows? Maybe their album is coming out.
What?
They got good pipes.
They got good pipes. Oh gosh.
So
we don't have enough time for jokes, babe.
Yeah, we don't. We actually don't.
We really don't.
So I am a big fan of resolutions. I think as I've grown up, I've seen sort of this cultural shift of like, you don't need to, you come as you are. You're perfect, just the way you are. Never change. And I'm just like, well, I don't agree with that.
Right.
That's terrible advice.
Yeah.
But I also don't think like, hustle, resolution, bah, bah, bah. I'm so good at everything. Look how much I've never seen my family.
If I'm not doing this, I'm nothing.
Yeah, blah. Yeah. So those are the two types. I think we all should land somewhere in the middle. Strongly agree. Strongly disagree. Strongly agree. Strongly disagree.
Sometimes, often, maybe.
But I do like making resolutions, but we kind of have different language for them. But what are your thoughts on resolutions?
As a whole?
As a whole. Just as general, culturally.
Would agree with what you just said. I think that they can be very helpful.
Yes.
And I do appreciate the hypothetical fresh start of a new year.
Yes.
Like, I know it's not magic. Right. I know that stuff, but it is still nice. You do feel like, wow, I just did a whole year of.
We took a trip around the sun.
All the things that happen in a year.
That's a year, right?
Yes.
Nailed it. Astronomy.
Right. So here's how it works.
Okay.
Okay, so here is
Here's Earth.
Right. Oh, whoa, Earth is spinning. I think it's a little bit tilted. Yeah. Well, wide angle. Hold on. Right. Where are we? We're on that?
Yeah, the mic is the sun.
Oh gosh. Okay. Go ahead. Are you gonna explain it or do I have to explain it? I'm a little confused.
I want you to explain it.
So this is years passing? You're spinning real fast.
Okay.
Slow way down.
2020. Starting now.
Go. Whoa, slower. Move slower around the mic. There. Those are days passing by. Your life is passing by, you guys, just like this spindrift can. But we have made it another year around the microphone.
We're back to the mic.
Okay. Now that you're all up to speed.
now
on our
now
science,
that you know how the planets work. Should I add the moon?
Yeah. No. Oh my gosh. Waves, gravitational pull. Dolphins, migration, bees going.
Welcome to class.
Yeah. Butterflies are going to
Mrs.
Mexico. Mrs. M. Is that what I would go by? Maybe.
Mrs. Mouse.
We don't have time for this, but you definitely were called that as a kid. Or maybe not a kid, but as a high schooler.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Everyone thought it was so funny. Masitas? Sounds like mouse tits. And I'm like, whatever.
Right.
This is New Year's.
I'm already in 2021, you guys. Anyway, I don't have much extra to add. But I, of course, land somewhere in the middle.
Of course. Do you have any that you really remember that you've completed that were total failures? Because I have some in all three categories.
No.
Okay.
If I can think of something while you talk, cool. But
so my best New Year's resolution of all time,
yeah,
was to stop drinking soda.
Yes.
And that was years ago, and I still haven't had a drop. That's not true. I had some ginger ale when I was vomiting, and vomiting, and vomiting, and vomiting, and vomiting.
I knew that was
but that one really helped because it was like, that was a fresh start. I was like, this is going to be the year. Cause I'd cut back considerably. I used to drink a lot of soda, cut back.
Yeah.
I heard some statistic that was like, if you drink soda every day, you have to lose an extra 24 pounds a year or something like that to maintain your weight. Totally just made all those numbers up.
I think it was 10.
10, but still it was like, whoa, it's hard losing weight.
Right.
So I'm already like hurting myself because of the food I eat. Food can help you lose or gain weight. What?
Where are we around the sun?
We're here.
Okay.
I learned that here.
Okay.
I'm applying it here.
Okay.
So that was one of the best ones I've ever done, and it worked, and it really created a nice habit of not drinking soda.
Yeah.
And I've, I'd stuck with it. So I do Spindrift, I do sparkling water, coffee, etc.
Yeah.
One that was a total failure was I wanted to learn how to make a paper swan or paper crane one year. Didn't fold a single piece of paper the whole entire year.
Nice.
I said it to you. I probably said it on the internet.
1201, blood everywhere.
Blood everywhere. Eat it. Why are you eating a stem
This
cell?
is a new food for me.
I should have had all those loaded.
Dang it. We didn't have
time. And then there was one New Year's where I decided I was going to do a push-up every day.
Yes.
And add one push-up a day. So it wasn't like
that worked.
That worked. So on New Year's Day, I did one. The second day I did two, etc. And then I made it to day 180. It was in the 180. So like on day 180, I did 180. And then on day 181, I did 181. So I was doing a lot of push-ups to the point that it was actually making my neck really hurt because I was doing so many.
That was the creation of beef jerky now.
Yeah. I think that's when it started. But there would be nights where I'd be laying in bed and I'd go, ah.
You'd have to get out of bed.
Get out of bed and do push-ups right beside the bed.
Yeah.
But that was fun. That was like a fun challenge. But that's the, as a 7 wing 8, the 8 is often known as the challenger.
Yeah.
I do like challenges. I like challenging myself. I like challenging our family. I like challenging Brooke. I like challenging people. I try to do it in a very positive way, not in like with a baseball bat saying, bam, challenged.
Right.
God.
Yeah. That hurts.
And I feel like I've learned how to do that better as I've matured. But yeah, I like New Year's resolutions. I think they can be good, but I think the main problem with them is that the way that they're worded and talked about, it's like an all or nothing. It's either you've succeeded and done it or you've failed.
Yeah.
And they're often not given, they're not oriented in the way goals should be oriented. They're not spoken about in the ways that goals should be spoken about. And so it's like, and we'll kind of get into that, but I just feel like that we have different language for New Year's and goals and rhythms and seasons and interests. And so we're going to kind of talk about that here as quickly as we can. And so, again,
I think that's why I can't really remember any of mine, because mine definitely would have fallen when I still did them, quote, that way.
Yep.
They would have fallen into that first category of I'm going to change everything about me.
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell anyone because I don't need any help because I can do it myself. And then I would feel like I had failed because I didn't keep up with this totally unrealistic, completely different version of myself in my day.
Yeah.
And how I thought everything was going to go.
And so language that we use around this time of year is rhythms. Is it a rhythm? Is it a goal? Or is it just something that I have interest in? And so when we talk about rhythms, we're talking about things that fit into our weekly, daily, and sometimes yearly life, things that we have worked hard to implement in our lives, foundational things, things that we think help us understand our vision and our mission as a family, as people, as individuals. And for us, like, this is not an exhaustive list by any means, but things like our weekly family dinner, that is a weekly rhythm. We maybe only missed 3 in the past year. That it's like, it's a dinner, it has meaning, it has purpose, and it ends with ice cream sundaes.
Yeah.
Probably why we only missed it 3 times in the past year.
Valid point.
Things like cleaning up every night before we go to bed. That's a daily rhythm.
Yeah.
That's something that helps us start the next day well.
Yeah.
Which then helps our whole week as well.
Yeah.
Things like having quiet time, which is something that Brooke and I probably need a little bit of work on. I mean,
it's sweating. Yeah, I'm already sweating under the sweater, so don't worry about it.
Something that we need to get a little bit better at, but that's a daily rhythm that we try to practice. Things like Friday day cleaning, which allows us to get ready for Sabbath. These are rhythmic things that happen often, and things like exercise. We try to have a rhythm of exercise.
Yeah.
Something that actually I think we improved on this year.
Yes.
Last year, 2018.
I'm positive that we did.
2019 was not a great exercise year. It was a good, more emotional, mental health year. In 2020, we built upon the rhythm that we already had and then added to it, which was really great.
Yeah.
And then we do have some yearly rhythms that we're starting to establish as we've kind of come up with this language. Like, one is happening right now as you're viewing this. We are off social media for the month of January. Last January in 2019, I took the whole month off my phone. Brooke had her phone, but we were both off social media. Not having your phone can cause some difficulties. So this year I will have my phone, but just no social.
Yeah.
Other than uploading this to YouTube, which I don't count as social media.
Yeah, I'm not.
And then just like really purposefully placing the phone in a place where we aren't going to use it very often.
Yeah.
So, deleting apps, things like that. But that is going to be an annual rhythm that every January we kind of start this practice. And it just becomes part of our year and part of our life. And imagine 30 years from now, we've taken 30 months off of social media and our phone in a really big way. Like, you think about it as a month, you're like, oh, that's cool, I could probably do that. And then you think about the effect, the long-term effect of doing it annually. And we've actually talked about doing it a week in July too, because we felt like there was like a reset needed kind of halfway through the year.
Yeah.
Another yearly rhythm that we have is purging and I said that weird. Purging and decluttering our home. It's a yearly rhythm we have. We just like to take all of our stuff and just throw it out. We don't need it anymore.
Be gone.
Be gone, dust bunnies. What just happened?
I don't know. But keep going because we're out of time. I'm kidding.
So that's a yearly rhythm that we have. And another yearly rhythm that we're establishing is a week trip to the beach.
Yeah.
We did that last year. When we look back on this last year and we talked about where was the Macedas family at their best, we both said that Stone Harbor trip to the beach, and that just so that is going to become a yearly rhythm.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of the language that we use, and some things enter the rhythm and then they leave the rhythm because they didn't work or they didn't fit or it wasn't the right time. And so this is an ongoing lifestyle. And it's not something that you'll get in a week, a year, even maybe 5 years. But it is something that is worth practicing because it adds so much depth and value to your life, and it allows you to feel more connected with the people around you, connected with the Lord, and just present in your life.
I got a few messages this week from last week's episode where at the very end we talked about things we learned in the year. And one of the things I said was adjusting as you go does not mean you failed.
Yeah, that was
I got a lot of messages about that specifically. And I did learn that, but I
that was a home run.
Tossed it in there like, oh yeah, that too, know. But that so applies to
living
everything
rhythmically.
We are talking about in this episode too. You just, man, if you can, and I'm preaching to myself as I say that, as if I continue to remember that, there's so much freedom and grace there to actually figure it out.
Yeah.
And move forward.
Yes.
And not feel so paralyzed with things.
Absolutely. And then the next thing that we talk about going into the new year is goals. So rhythm and goals are different.
Yes.
They can sometimes overlap in the Venn diagram. But mostly they're separate.
Yeah.
And so and this is where I think resolutions sort of get a bad rap and sort of become unattainable, is because they're not worded in the way that we've learned how to talk about goals.
Yeah.
Did you touch this?
No, I realized that looked like I was telling you
are you
something about my headphone. And
is your ear bleeding?
My ear's gone under here. I just want you to know.
Just letting you know, I have lost it.
Yeah.
I don't know how I'll wear a mask ever again. That was one of my favorite memes I've seen recently. It was the self-portrait of Vincent van Gogh, who famously cut off his ear.
Yeah.
And someone imposed a mask hanging off his face, and it just said, "Oh crap."
What have I done? Yeah, totally.
So a goal is something that is measurable. If you're here are some examples. I want to lose this much weight by this time.
Well, it's measurable by what? You
by
said
both quantity, metric, that can change a little bit.
Yeah.
And time.
Yes.
I want to lose this much weight by this time. I want to save this much money by this time. Goals are measurable both by outcome and a time frame.
Yeah.
Saying I want to get healthier seems like a goal, but really it's just a statement. And Brooke will often say, so what does that look like?
Yeah.
And I think that's where resolutions get in trouble, because you're like, I want to be,
which is it?
I want to get healthier in 2021. And you're like, okay, well, what does that mean?
Yeah.
And then by February or whatever the date is that most people fail, you're like, oh, I didn't get healthier. Well, of course you didn't, because you had no metrics to kind of establish that.
Yeah. Totally.
And so, for example, here are some of my goals in 2021. In 2021, I want to read 2 fiction books a month. That I did not say that. I just want to read more.
Right. You were very purposeful.
When I said that. Yes. Yeah. In 2021, I want to take 1 course on Theos U a month. Not, I want to learn more about the Bible.
Yeah. That
second statement is true.
Right.
But how am I going to measure it? By just saying it.
Yeah.
And how is anybody like Brooke going to keep me accountable for that?
Yeah.
In 2021, I want our 4 releases to produce X amount in sales. Not, I want to sell more t-shirts.
Right.
So that's just kind of the language that we use and how we say things. that is super helpful to sort of taking a resolution and turning it into a goal.
Yeah.
Because goals are great. Like,
Yeah.
I wrote a post last night about we hit this big goal, this big milestone in our career. Luckily, like you got to read the post, but anyways, like goals are good. I'm not a person that's like, don't set goals. Like just focus on whatever else. Like, I think measurable goals will help you achieve things.
Absolutely.
That has been proven over and over again.
Yeah.
And so maybe your language just needs to shift. If you've made resolutions the past 5 years and none of them have come to anything.
Maybe you're trying to make rhythms and you're calling them goals.
Yes.
Maybe you're trying to set goals and you're calling them like these big overarching practices. Like, define it and really understand where it goes. And so like the goal of reading 2 books a month will become a rhythm. Oh, yes.
And that will become a rhythm that I'll have forever. Hopefully. And so that's the idea for me for a goal is this something that I want in my weekly rhythm, my monthly rhythm, my yearly rhythm? Normally that is now how I focus on my goals. Is that I want it to be a part of our rhythm. And then the last piece of language that we use, actually I have 2 more pieces of language that we use, but this is sort of along the goals and rhythms part of things is like, is it just a general interest? Like that's okay to have. Yeah. We don't have to place everything in like the rhythm category of life or the goal category of life. We can just literally have interests. Yeah. And that's good and that's healthy. And like having hobbies is like a really good thing to do. But I sometimes think in culture today, especially, it's like, well, how are you going to do that? How are you going to monetize that? What are you going to do? And like,
make it your job.
Yeah. Make it your job. Make it your life.
Make it your job.
You should get paid for it. Like, and you're just like, well, I just like baking bread.
Right.
Like I just like it sometimes.
Yeah.
Not all the time, not weekly, not monthly, just whenever I feel like it. Yeah. And that's just a general interest of mine. And I sometimes think people think that that's not allowed. And you are allowed to have interest in hobbies. Yeah. And you should. Yeah. And it's almost better sometimes to let them be just that. Mm-hmm. That will allow you to relax. That will allow you to rest. Like some people, their general interest is probably reading and they can just read to relax and like that's their jam. Yeah. Not for me. No. I will never read a single book if I'm just going to wait.
If it's not intentional.
If it's not intentional. If I'm just going to wait till the moment strikes when I want to read. That moment doesn't exist. I killed it in 5th grade. Sorry.
Oh, man.
But general interests are okay. And I think that they should be encouraged. And I think that you should be able to call them that and not have to place them in the rhythm.
Not have to quantify them in any other way.
In the rhythm category or the goal category or the practice category or whatever. Yeah. And so I just want to sort of just say that as like.
Oh, that's good.
It's good. Permission, honestly.
Yeah.
And so the last piece of language that we use that doesn't really fall in any of these categories is what are we leaving in the last year? Like what are we just letting go of? And we're just going to keep that in 2020 as we step into 2021. This is obviously not an easy thing to do. It's usually something more emotional, which is often hard to let go of. But I think it's important, and I think having conversations about that with the one you love, your spouse, your friends, your parents, your siblings is good to have because it allows you, 1, to stay accountable, 2, to really kind of have a goal, not a goal, but like have something that you're like, oh no, that's in 2020. I'm done. Yeah. Like I've moved on from that. Yeah. And I think that can be a very healthy, healing part of life.
Some of that letting go can be a recognition of the very natural seasons of life. Yeah. Because the thing you might be letting go of or leaving behind, it doesn't have to be a bad thing. Right. A lot of times it is. You're like, I do not want that in my life anymore. I'm going to let it go. But sometimes it could be a season of like, whoa, wow, 2021 for me, not for me. I'm speaking to someone else. Like, I don't have toddlers anymore. I don't have infants anymore. Or like, it could be a very much just next phase of life and you're leaving something positive behind, but recognizing that it is being left behind a little bit, I think could help your perspective and maybe your expectations on
like, oh, they're not babies anymore, like that. True.
But there's that's the best example I could think of. That's a really good example. It's like I'm leaving behind something good, but I want to recognize that it is being left behind because
and maybe that gives you the permission to mourn it a little bit.
That's what I was gonna say. You can grieve it while it's happening and not be like, bam, 4 years later.
There's some emotions I wasn't ready for. Right. Yikes. Yes. Audio and video.
Babysitting.
So unfortunately we are basically out of time. Yeah. So quick episode, which is funny. It's 34 minutes. That used to be all of our episodes.
Yeah.
I
What
feel
do we just talk about dumb stuff now.
yeah.
I mean, really helpful, amazing things. This is your first welcome. We have a lot of information to share with you.
So before we go, Brooke and I are going to share one of each.
Okay.
One rhythm we're hoping to add, one goal that we have,
Yep.
one interest that we're going to pursue to see if it becomes anything.
Yeah.
Or to pursue it just to enjoy.
Yeah.
And then one thing we are letting go of.
Okay. What's your rhythm?
My rhythm is I want to empty the dishwasher of the clean dishes in the morning after I make breakfast. So like
Right.
I set ourselves, I'm the one that cleans up after dinner. I load the dishwasher. I clean all the downstairs. And then to set us up for the next day. Well, it started to hit me. We make the kitchen messy almost the first thing. This is the first thing that we do in the morning.
Yeah.
To get breakfast ready.
Yeah.
And so I'm setting myself up for the next 20 minutes of the day. And
When
then
you
and then we have a dirty kitchen again.
Right.
So what I want to do is after we're done with breakfast and dropping off kids or getting kids set
To
into
school or
activities or whatever they need to do, I want to clean up after breakfast, put the clean dishes away from the dishwasher, and then start loading the dirty dishes for
Yeah.
the
Well, I'll be more likely to
Yeah.
fill the dishwasher as the day goes on.
So that is
if
a
it's
daily
empty.
rhythm that I want to add because I've seen the benefit of the nightly side of that.
Yeah. Mine is that I have seen and I believe in so strongly the rhythms we've added to our personal life, our family life, our
Yes.
daily life. I have not fully implemented that into my work days.
Right.
So I know the rhythm of like, oh, I work all day Monday, I work all day Wednesday because we have childcare. I know that rhythm. But then within that day, specific to
Kind of a
to
free-for-all.
business, I'm just like, oh, whatever comes up,
Yep.
I'll do that. Whatever stresses me out the most, I'll pick that. All my dominoes are the same size, so panic, But being like, no, you answer those messages
Yes.
on Mondays and you do
Yes.
this there. And there's, of course, flexibility in it all.
Yes,
But
absolutely.
a general rhythm of those days would
Yes.
be very, very,
Very,
helpful.
very helpful. Because like we say rhythm and not schedule because like answering messages one week might take 2 hours.
Yeah.
And answering another week might take 30 minutes. And so like
Yeah.
that's why we use that terminology rather than schedule because
I can't say from 9 to 10,
right,
do this.
because our lives
it's not-
yeah.
it will make me feel like I failed. I'm trying to quantify something
Yes.
that is very fluid and flexible.
Yes.
So
That's good. Okay, so my goal, which I've stated a few times, read 2 nonfiction books a month. I've said it so many times, and it's making me a little
you
nervous.
really have to do it now.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
making me a little nervous. What about yours?
Mine is to print family photos to hang in the frames. The frames are already on the wall, people. They're
Yes.
just empty.
They're just empty.
I've also already taken the photos. So
So,
all I need to do is click, 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 and print them.
good
and
reference.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Wow.
I would like to do that in January.
Yes,
While I'm not on my phone.
nice. I love it.
Although some of the photos are on my phone, so I'll have to do that.
Well, yeah,
but
we'll figure that out.
that's different.
That's great. My interest this year, so who knows if this will turn out, but for June's
It
birthday,
doesn't have to
it
turn
doesn't
out.
have to turn out,
You're
but
just interested.
I'm just interested. For June's birthday, I bought her something called a Lumi piano, which is like a little tiny keyboard that's like this size of an iPad.
Yeah.
And you hook it up to your iPad and it will teach you how to play the piano, like where your hands go. And so I have an interest. My parents gave Steph and Nick, my older siblings, piano lessons. They hated them with such a fierce, violent ferocity that they didn't even try with me.
Your siblings hated the lessons.
Yes, my siblings hated the lessons so much that they didn't try with me, which is unfortunate because
You're
I feel
amazing.
I'm so good at everything that
Right,
piano
right,
probably
right.
would just have happened naturally to me.
Right. You wouldn't have been frustrated or moving on to the next thing.
No. I
Right,
think
right.
I would have been all in on it.
Yeah.
I for sure strongly agree. So I kind of know how to play the guitar. Again, when I took
Yeah.
lessons, I sort of lost interest quickly, but that was different. That's different. It's a
Okay.
guitar. It's got strings, pianos have
Okay.
keys. They're different instruments.
Okay.
But June has shown an interest in music. And
Yeah.
so I think it would be cool to share that interest with her and learn something with her that honestly she'll probably be better at naturally, both by age and just like your brain is just more absorbent to new information where I'll just be like, beef stick fingers. Ah! So
Chopsticks. Clink, 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 clink,
gotta play way
clink,
up here because I
clink,
can't bend
clink,
my fingers.
clink, 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 clink.
So I'm excited to try that with her. And just
Yeah.
as she's becoming a kid, she can actually stay focused on some things. And so like, it would just be cool to like share that with her
Yeah.
in the new year.
Mine is Well, I first just put hospitality, and then I was like, active hospitality,
Yes.
like a little bit of a push on that.
2021 is the year we're inviting people over for dinner.
Right. Because I honestly, I genuinely always want to.
Yep.
And then it's like weeks go by, months go by. And I'm like, here we are spinning around. Light, dark. And I'm not doing anything, about to move that forward.
Not day night.
No, light. That's just my
Are
role.
you saying see the world or sea world?
That's good.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Active hospitality is an interest of
that
yours.
could be something like inviting my parents down to watch a
Yes.
movie, or someone we haven't seen in a while to stay
Yeah.
for the weekend. Like
Yeah.
it, again, I'm not quantifying it. I'm
Yeah.
not doing anything. I'm interested in that in my life.
Yes. Amazing. I
I
love
want
it.
it to happen.
And then the thing I'm letting go of, which I think I've been letting go of for years, but I continue to make it a priority because it can sneak up on me and kind of get me, is thinking that I need to be for everyone. Thinking that I need to be a certain version of TJ for every single person, and everyone needs to enjoy that version, and I need to like shape shift to fit said scenario.
Yeah.
Instead of allowing the God-given uniqueness of myself shine through and just being confident in that
Yeah.
and being okay with that and like knowing that it's not for everyone, and that's okay. Like
Yeah.
I don't need to be for everyone, and that's okay. The only person that needs to be for everyone is Jesus, and I need to know that He's got that position, and
Yeah.
so I'm good. I can
Yeah.
just be TJ. I can try to be the best version of TJ possible. I can try to be the most enjoyable version of TJ as possible. But some people won't like me. And that's okay.
It's fine. It's fine.
It's fine.
The flames erupt from under the table. Yeah.
It's like
I feel very blessed.
Yes.
so that's what I'm letting go of
Yeah.
again.
That's good. Yeah. Mine would be like, I'm not letting go of this. This is the thing I'm actually keeping, but the idea that done is better than perfect.
Right.
And so what I'm letting go of is this idea that it needs to be perfect. And I don't even like to say that because I just don't. Like, I don't even like to say,
Yeah.
oh, I want things to be perfect,
Yeah.
because I don't. But yet
You do.
I do, but it doesn't look like, I'm all in my head about
Are
it.
you saying see the
See, I don't
world
know.
or sea world?
But that's good, babe.
I still struggle to admit
yes.
that I want things a certain way.
Right.
Because
But you're-
that sounds crazy
Yes.
a little bit.
So if you guys want to, we'd love to know maybe one of each for you in the comments on the
Yes.
YouTube. You can leave a review on the podcast. Those are harder to interact with though, because we can't.
No.
We
can
literally
read them.
can't. We can read them.
That's about it.
So again, we're looking for a rhythm that you're hoping to implement, a goal that you have that is measurable, both by quantity and time, an interest that you have, just something you want to try this year, get into. I don't know.
Plumbing.
Audio and video for plumbers.
Well, there you go.
And then something that you're letting go of.
Okay.
We have to go. We are late already. Hope you guys enjoyed. It's not that short, but
No.
that's it. I'm
We'll
done.
be back.
We'll be back.
This is what
Happy
we do. We'll be
Happy New
back.
Year, even though we're in 2020 still. Hope you enjoyed the live stream.
Yes.
Okay, I love you.
Bye.